things that would inevitably come up against Jehovah's Witnesses was use of the word cult. The thing was, no one could actually spout off the properties of cult. All they knew was that cults were closed off, and so were the Jehovah's Witnesses. Or maybe cults had predicted the end of the world, and they heard somewhere Jehovah's Witnesses predicted the end of the world in 1975. I've even seen this recently on YouTube, where the word cult is brought into play frequently. So, what are the properties of a cult? Steve Hassan in Combating Mind Control, which is a book written by a former member of the Moonies. Now, there's nothing specifically mentioning Jehovah's Witnesses in this book whatsoever. So, active witnesses, feel free to read this book, and feel free to even follow along with the principles listed. Now, this book lists 4 principles that classify a group as a cult. It's called BITE, B-I-T-E. It stands for behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. So the next 4 questions are going to deal with these 4 principles independently. I'm going to describe each principle in as detailed way as I possibly can, given the limitations on time. Then I'm going to ask a defense as to why this principle does not apply to Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, once again, I'm going to preface this set of questions to prevent any knee-jerk, automatic, negative responses with a statement: I'm doing this set of questions for the specific purpose of educating people as to what a cult is. These questions are not designed to draw people to the conclusion that Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult. I'm going to list the properties of cult, and, well, since this is tough questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, I am going to ask some follow-up questions aimed at Jehovah's Witnesses regarding the principle, so that they can determine whether this principle does or does not apply to their organization. Now, ex-witnesses, you can respond with how the property does apply to Jehovah's Witnesses, but that's it, just how the property applies to Jehovah's Witnesses. And active witnesses, please, this is your chance to show folks how these principles do not apply to your religion. Now, if someone yells this in the ministry towards you, these videos at the very least will give you an idea of what the properties of cults are. And you'll either have a better defense or maybe even a response to the detractor. I really look forward to hearing everyone's responses. I, at the very least, hope everyone can remain civil towards each other and really focus on the actual issue at hand and only the principle that's listed, okay, folks? So I will see you next week with my 4 questions for BITE, B-I-T-E, the properties of a cult. Thanks so much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen.